Yo, what's good, everybody? Welcome back to L Boxing. We're back again. We got the new IBF rankings. It just came out maybe a day or so ago. So we're gonna cover these rankings, see what we got. You know what I'm saying? All that good shit. Salute to everybody coming through the building. Make sure you guys hit that like button and subscribe. Much appreciated. So we're gonna start. We're gonna flip flop it. We're gonna start at 105 pounds. We're gonna switch it up. Then we're gonna work our way up. Salute to everybody coming to the building. Hit that like button, subscribe. Y'all know how we get down. All right, 105 mini flyweight. So we got Pedro Toleran as the IBF champion. Of course, we want to see a unification with him and Oscar Collazo, 3-belt unification plus the Ring magazine, but look like that's not gonna happen. So Pedro has a mandatory Zoo at number one. So we'll see when they're gonna make that fight. I'm not sure if they actually ordered it, but I'm pretty sure that's next. Given that the other unifications, just not there for Pedro right now. So we'll see. Hopefully they can fix that and we can get Collazo versus Pedro Toleran. But Collazo, he may have some smoke with Ricardo Sandoval, which is a good fight too. That's 112 pounds for the unified title. So we'll see what's up with that. Moving up, 108 pounds. We got Semstri as the IBF champion at 108. He's a good fighter. He just ran through his mandatory, and I didn't think he was gonna do that to Sergio Mendoza. He ran through him, so he don't have a mandatory, as you see. With the IBF rankings, when number one and number two, those two spots are vacant, that means nobody won an eliminator. You know what I'm saying? So right now, I'm gonna see. I mean, can he unify? Because I think that's the biggest thing down here. These weight classes, 105, 108, 112. Because if they unify and they become like one champ, but it's a champion that we can recognize. Then a lot of fans can tap in more. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of fans ain't really coming down this far. So in his division, you got the unified champ Rene Santiago. He got to go back to Japan and fight his mandatory Kira. I think that's September. And then the WC champion Awata is fighting next week. So I will see, man, if Semstri can get in that mix, or do something else, something creative that he can keep it popping. But he coming off a big knockout win, and we haven't heard much from him. That's typical. A lot of these fighters these days have great performances, then they go MIA. So hopefully they can change that. 112, Masamichi Yabuki. This is one of my favorite fighters right now. He's like that. He's a two division champ. Uh, he lost a couple of times, I think 3 or 4 times, but he always come back and fight hard. He's just a fighter that is easy to root for, and he got a dog in him. So he made a defense not too long ago against Classito, beat him. He dropped him early in that fight, but ended up going the distance. He's talking about going, moving up another weight class and challenging the IBF champion Andrew Maloney. We're gonna get to him next. So that might be next. That fight with Yabuki and Maloney might be next. I seen they fought on the same card last time out, and they was taking pictures after that. So we'll see. And I mentioned before the unified champion, Ricardo Sandoval. Looks like his fight against Collazo is in the works. That's a big fight for both. For Collazo, even bigger because he's top 10 pound for pound in the Ring magazine. So he kind of need fights like that to kind of solidify that position. Because we got other great fighters that are not even on the list. But Collazo is nice. Him and Sandoval will be a good fight as well. And then the WBO champion, Anthony Oscawaga, he's in a little bit of turmoil right now because he's supposed to fight July the 11th. So this weekend, that fight got canceled. They was trying to do it in San Francisco. Then they was going to push it back 2 weeks to Vegas, and that shit got canceled altogether. So he missed out on the opportunity for another title defense. So we'll see, man. We'll see what's up. Moving up. My bad. I forgot I'm going in reverse. 115. So I spoke on Andrew Maloney possibly fighting Yabuki. Yabuki be moving up. um, so we'll see if that fight can happen in the fall. Now Maloney has a mandatory, Nesquoli from South Africa. So he went to the UK and he beat former champ Charlie Edwards in his last fight, all boxing. So if they don't go ahead and lock in that fight with Yabuki, then they'll probably execute that mandatory. You know what I'm saying? 115 is a division that Bam just left. He left all the belts open. So the WBA got fulfilled. We got the interim champion got elevated, David Jimenez. And he should have a title defense pretty soon as well. The WBO Tanaka, not Tanaka. No, I'm thinking about Kosei Tanaka. Kenshiro is about to fight for that next week. He's gonna face I think I forgot his name. Israel Gonzalez. Yeah, they gonna fight next week. And then the WBC, that's my man Sabu supposed to fight for that. The one who got like 4 or 5 fights. So when a dominant champion, unified, undisputed, when they vacate their titles, it leaves the division in a lot of parity. So it can create some good 50-50 type of fights. So that's what happened. That's what's gonna happen here. Bruce Gas, what's good with you? Salute. What's good? 118, we got Jose Salas. So we seen him yesterday. He was at the press conference when PBC announced their new deal with the Zone. He got a mandatory with Michael Angeletti, who's been working with PBC for a minute. PBC and Pro Box. So that's a solid fight. Salas can fight. He good. He a southpaw. He been quiet too. He had a good win. He won the vacant title against the African fighter, but he been kind of MIA. So looks like Salas and Angeletti gonna be on one of these upcoming PBC cards. Um, I think they having one in September the 19th with Jesus Ramos, and then one in October. I forget the date with Fundora. So that's a solid fight, and Angeletti get an opportunity to become world champion, and that'd be dope. Tenshin Nakasawa, he'll probably fight for the WBC title again in a rematch with Tacoma anyway. Marlon Prince, what's good, bro? Salute to you. Appreciate you coming through as always. Salute. Jason Maloney just signed with Zuffa Boxing. Manny Rodriguez, he a dark horse, former champ. Yo, Malone. So Zuffa Boxing and the IBF is actually look like they're working together. So maybe Maloney can get in position to fight the winner of Salas or Angeletti. So that's not bad. Moving up, we have 122. Anyway, is the only undisputed male champion right now. Not sure what's next for him. I was thinking he'll have another fight, maybe December to close out the year, and then try to get the big fight with Bam, first quarter of 27. Bam is penciled in the fight in October, November. Looks like maybe a homecoming fight in San Antonio against the WO champion Christian Medina. So we'll see. But anyway, he do have a mandatory Nishida. The IBF ordered Nishida versus Sam Goodman. That's a good fight. Yeah, that's a good fight. So pretty soon the IBF is going to come calling for him to exercise his mandatory position. So we'll see. I would prefer if anyway waits and just wait for Bam. If Bam had one more fight end of the year, then they fight first quarter. I'm cool with that. But I think it's time for anyway to go to featherweight. He done cleaned out 122 twice over. You know what I'm saying? Now he'll be bringing up Bam coming up from from the lower weight classes, which that's a super fight, and I take it every day of the week. So we'll see what's up. Um, Let me see. Juntu will be out for a while. He has a eye injury off that anyway fight. Shabazz Masu, I see he about to get some fight news, so that's good. He been MIA too. Like to see him more active, you know. Sebastian Hernandez, bro, where the hell he been at? I'm not even sure. He had a good performance against Juntu. Then he been out the loop. D'Lo in the building was good. Can Edgelade? I think he can. Reyes is good. He's a tall southpaw with some good power. He's a young fighter. He's pretty solid. Um, he's not like a aggressive type of guy. He a boxer puncher, but he's tall. So I think his height will probably because Angelady pretty tall too. Angelady probably I stood next to him. He probably about 5'8", and that's tall for a 118 pounder. So they pretty tall guys. But Reyes is maybe the bigger puncher. You know what I'm saying? Did he move up? I did. I think he did move up. Because I think he rated. Yeah, he did move up. Yep. I said him number 9. But in another section body, I think he's in another section body at 122. So yeah. So maybe he had a good fight with Angeletti. So maybe he can get back in a good position. 126, Angelo Leo is the IBF champ. Now he don't have a mandatory. We know he's supposed to make a mandatory defense in May. Raif Salim pulled out for Mr. Well. Fight got canceled when he missed weight. I was thinking Omar Trinidad would be the mandatory now, since of course he's on Zuffa, but IBF and Zuffa is working together, and he called out Angelo Leo after the fight. That was interesting. But they did order Trinidad versus Nunes for the top spot. So that's an interesting fight. Maybe they bypass that and Leo give Trinidad an opportunity. It seems like Leo is kind of like, he's been inactive. Good fighter, solid champion, but he just been inactive. Featherweight needs unification in the worst way, but it looks like we're not gonna get it. I really think a lot of these champions are just holding on to their belt until anyway get up there. That's what I'm thinking, but it should have been a unification. I like Pro Box, but they're doing Leo wrong, top rank too. Well, I think I don't know if they're doing it wrong. Maybe you got some inside information, but from my understanding, he was supposed to have a homecoming defense against the South African fighter. I forgot his name, but they had a bigger fight for him with what's the name, Raif Salim. I mean, I get it though. If you speaking on they doing her wrong by not having him active, I'm with that. But man, shit happens, bro. Like that shit with Raif Salim was crazy, bro. It was. But Leo should have been fought. I'm with that. If that's the angle you taking, I'm with you on that for sure. You think Karen's? I think, man. I think it might be, bro. Especially if they're not trying to do no unification no time soon. You know what I'm saying? I can see that. And I'm not going to look. I can see Shushu going up to 130 and trying to challenge Oshaki Foster too. I can see that because of how the WBC is set up. You know what I'm saying? That's one. Maybe that's a distant because I want to see Oshaki Foster unify with Navarrete, but I'm just throwing out all scenarios. Um, man, we'll see, man. It's I just want them to get those guys to unify the division. I'd take one of them. You know what I'm saying? Bree in the building. What's good with you, bro? What's good? Brim, what's good, bro? Salute to you. What's good? What's good? Shushu, the only one. Only got one, maybe 2 fights. 26. He got more. Yeah, I'm with you on that. I think it's probably time now. It might be time now. But yeah, let me see. You mentioned Cristobal Lorente. That's a mandatory for Shushu. Um, Nakano and the Japanese fighter number 4 is supposed to fight for Eliminator. Who else? Let me see. Lorenzo Parra is number 1 with the WBO. Jan Santana is with Top Rank, but I think he has some out of the ring issues. And yeah. And then we got B Figgy. Bro, we got good champions at 26, but dudes ain't unifying. He gassed out the last fight probably because of the weight. Maybe so. And also my man picked it up, started going to the body. You know what I'm saying? Probably slowed him down just a tad bit. He didn't finish that fight strong. He can work on that. 130, we got unified champ Emmanuel Navarrete Word is him and Shaki Foster in negotiations. That's a good one. I also heard a little birdie that Navarrete and Kakashi might be in the works too. Maybe on the Canelo card, but Kakashi has a mandatory. And I know this shit is like fickle shit, bro. You know, money talks, but Navarrete and Shaki Foster, that's the fight for the number one spot at 130, and I would like to see that. I think that should be a no brainer to me. Yeah, that's the fight to make. I'm with you for sure. Zerbeck and English supposed to fight a final eliminator. That fight keep getting pushed back like 2 or 3 times. So I don't know. Henry LeBron, number 5. I don't know what he's doing. Uh, Waller Nunez, Sugar Nunez. We should be hearing something back from him. What card he's on, bro? I didn't even see it. The 14th. Whose card is that? Leon Wilson is facing Stephen Fulton. That's a fight Leon Wilson can win too. If Leon Wilson can make Fulton sit with him and fight, he'll have a chance because he's the bigger puncher and he might be the stronger guy physically. I think Fulton probably better boxing skills, but Fulton got a lot of shit to prove. So I don't know. We gotta base him off their last fight. You know what I'm saying? So like some bullshit his last fight. Luis Alberto Lopez is fighting on Pro Box September the 11th. I don't have the opponent, but I saw that. Royston Barney Smith, he's facing Reese Bellotti. That's August the 1st. That's a solid fight for him. 135, we got Ray Mortala, IBF champ. He's gonna make his second title defense against Rosen Cancial. That's August 1st, so that's coming up real quick. On the undercard of Lamont Roach versus William Zepeda, vacant WBC. And the winner's supposed to fight each other, so that's dope. That's dope, bro. Ooh, that's a good one. I hope so. Yeah, bro. Hey, yo, put that in the air, bro. That's dope. I take it. He's facing Batista in San Juan. Okay, okay. What card is that? Is that that's not Salida, is it? That's Salida, the 14th. Okay. Good to see him back though. Um, so Moratala, the winner between Moratala, Canciel, Roach, Zepeda, supposed to unify. So that's what's up. Um, Moratala don't have a mandatory, so we'll probably see number 2, Arthur Subkanagloff. That's crazy. Him versus Andy Cruz will probably get ordered. Andy Cruz is he's still gonna fight July 18th against Abraham Montoya. I already spoke my shit about that. How I don't really like that fight for him. Not saying he gonna lose or nothing like that, but I don't know. We'll see. He should win that fight, and then they'll probably order him versus the Russian. Dimitri Asanu, Dimitri Asanu, he ran through that opponent Scooter Davis had all types of trouble with. Where Derek Davis had all types of trouble with. We gotta take that Scooter off. He gotta get some more skin in the game. Um, for that shit. He look like some bullshit. He got a gift. But Asano, he ran through that guy, that opponent. Ran through him, stopped him. He made him quit. Alan Chavez, man, I like him. He's nice. He might be a future opponent for Abdullah Mason. He's number 2 in the WBO. Cordena number 1. Cordena can't get in the country. He got some legal shit popping. So the WBO might order Mason versus Chavez, bro. That's a banging ass fight right there. I take that. Mark Masayo, he's fighting Andres Cortez, Super Boxing. Fulton versus Leon Wilson coming up. That's on the Spence and Zoo card, July 25th. I seen Sam Noakes linked in with Baranachek. I can see that. That makes sense. Lucas Body is locked in with a WBA title fight, the vacant title fight with Floyd Schofield. So that should be coming up. Hopefully they get a fight date. Uh yeah. Yes, sir. All right. Moving up. 140. So we have a vacant title. So Landolfo Delgado, Arthur Belasanov, they're gonna fight. I don't know what took so long, and the WBO, the IBF, all they gonna do their due diligence. You know what I'm saying, when they order a fight. If people turn it down, they keep going to the next. But this is where we at. Teofimo turned it down. Uh, who else? A couple more people turned it down. I can't remember right now. But this fight, Delgado Belasanov is supposed to be on Canelo's undercard, Mexico versus the world. Adam Azim is right there at number 4. Now, he's in an interesting spot because he's not a big name yet in the UK, and he's still kind of high risk, low reward. So he would need a mandatory situation, right? And look, number 4 and number 5. That'd be a great fight. Adam Azam versus Ernesto Mercado Tito. But when Tito be turning down fights recently, I'm not sure. I was thinking maybe Azam versus Gabriel Gales, Valenzuela, maybe. But I don't think Adam Azam have enough uh, have enough stroke or power to get a champion to come to the UK and fight him. He got to get in a mandatory position. That's what I see. I see Sean McComb. He's got a fight coming up too, August the 1st. Let me see. Emiliano number 1 in the WBO. We haven't seen or heard from Matisse since he got knocked out by Dalton Smith. Pierce O'Leary is facing Mark Chamberlain August 1st. The Duarte might be out for the rest of the year. So, yeah, 140 is still solid. You got Gary Antoine Russell, WBA champ. Shakur Stevenson, WBO, just signed with Zuffa. We'll see what his next move is. WBC is Dalton Smith. So he's going to fight Alberto Playo. That fight got postponed to October. Playo is taking a tune-up fight next week in Dominican Republic. If he comes through that, then he'll get the Dalton Smith fight, the rescheduled fight. Hopefully Rocco not on the pond too long. Yeah, bro. He hopefully that goes to how good his team is though, because he probably should have fought on Anyway's card. What month Anyway fight? Him and John too. They fought in May. He probably should have been on that card. Welterweight Leon Paro is the new IBF champ. He beat Lewis Crocker. That was a close fight. He faded down the stretch though, but he banked enough rounds. Patty Donovan is the mandatory for Leon Paro. So the mandatory is not due for Paro yet. He's allowed a voluntary, but he have a certain time frame to execute that. So in the meantime, Patty Donovan is going to come back and fight Tyrone McKenna on Katie Taylor homecoming fight. Well, farewell fight. So he's on that undercard in Ireland. Hitchens is number 3, former champ. He moved. This is his first fight at welterweight. He's gonna fight Ricardo Salas on Zuffa Boxing, July 28th, right? And that fight is supposed to be for the number 2 spot. Y'all see number 2 is vacant. So Hitchens might be in that number 2 spot if they go ahead and sanction that. As I said before, Zuffa and IBF seem to be working well together as of late. Teofimo and Rolly just got announced for the WBA championship. You have Ryan Garcia, Conor Ben should be announced either tonight or tomorrow during the UFC, event. I think who fight? Conor McGregor fight? He coming back? So they probably announced that. Devin Haney got to make a choice to who he want to fight. Do he fight his mandatory Keyshawn Davis or he go fight a big fight with Shakur Stevenson? So he got, he got probably to the end of the month. Now I know people doing countdowns and whatever, but the deadline for negotiation, the free negotiation period is 20 days. So they got what? Let's say July the 20th. Then after that, if they don't reach an agreement, then a purse bid would get scheduled within 10 days. So that's basically the end of July. So he basically got more than the countdown say. So just add about 10 more days to that, and then your countdown might be good. But and they still have up until the last 15 minutes of the purse bid to make a deal. So we'll see. I mean, I feel like the Shakur fight is the one that's probably he should take now. That's how I see it. You know, maybe he want to keep his belt. I guess it is what it is, but they did a nice little trick to kind of get Devin Haney in a nice little corner. So we'll see. We'll see what he do. So yeah. You see Keyshawn number 4. Somebody lied and said he petitioned the IBF. He always going down the WBO route. Don't fall for it. Brian Norman is number 2 in the WBO. So if Devin Haney vacates that title, Keyshawn and Norman and Norfolk, that might make sense. I mean, Brian Norman just fought on that undercard. So that would be a good fight. I'm with that. Conor Walker, I like him. He's fun. Rohan Polanco, maybe him and Tiger gotta get in there with each other. Courier is supposed to fight August 1st on that Rose Baylor card. So we're still waiting to see. Harlem Eubank is fighting David Popo coming up July 18th. That's a good fight. You know what I'm saying? Key getting hella love in the rankings. Yeah, you know how Bob Arum, WBO, you know how that shit works. What's to negotiate? Yeah, I think that's another thing that's misconstrued too because the 75-25 it only applies if it goes to purse bid. So when they negotiate, then they can negotiate whatever, right? It don't necessarily have to be that split. There's only that split for sure, 100% when it goes to purse bid. So yeah, I got you covered though. Yeah, we're gonna make sure you're straight. Yeah, Keyshawn was ranked by the IBF. He was ranked by the IBF right after his last fight. So there's not really nothing new. Just 2 months in a row. So yeah, ain't nothing crazy, bro. You ain't missed nothing. It's good because it's old news, so ain't nothing really to kind of push. Because even if he wanted to go the IBF route, like I mentioned, Patty Donovan is the mandatory. He got dibs on that. You feel me? So yeah, don't fall for it, bro. I got y'all covered. Could you see Boots and Kelly, Mason, Cordina double hitter happen? Man, that'd be dope. That would be dope. I think probably no because Top Rank want to do their own shows and likewise with, but I guess anything's possible. Maybe that would be dope to see both of those guys on the same card. All right, moving up, 154. Josh Kelly, you just spoke him up. Josh Kelly, he got a fight with Kevin Ajako, but they haven't officially announced that. That's July 18th. That's next week. No, July 25th. They got 2 weeks. 2 weeks left. He's gonna be on AJ's undercard, but they haven't even announced it, so I don't know. Um, so Brandon Adams was supposed to fight Bakr Mutazali at former champ, and I've mentioned this before. The fight went to purse bid. Team Bakr won the purse bid. They tried to stage that fight in Russia, but Team Adams was like, "Nah, we ain't going to Russia. We ain't fucking with them drones." So they pulled out the fight. So let's see if Bakr get another fight or how they gonna do this, or do they reorder the fight and maybe Brandon Adams, his team can put it somewhere in the States. We'll have to see, man. More to follow. Tim Zoo, him and Spence coming up, Australia in 2 weeks. Nikita Zoo, who I seen him line up with. Damn, I forgot. Ben Mahoney, yeah, Ben Mahoney. Israel Majimov, been on the low as of late. I feel like Majimov would be like he might be the backup opponent if Boots can't get a big fight next. If it's not Virgil, if it's not Josh Kelly unification or something else, I think Majimov might be in the shoot because boxing fans and the media they going to forever keep the Crawford Boots fight alive, right? And another way to keep it alive by fighting Majimov because that was a tough fight, a solid fight for Crawford for Bud. So of course they're gonna always compare that. You know what I'm saying? So the fans and media keeping that shit alive. Like that shit is dead. They're not gonna ever fight. But you know how it is. Xander Zaya is number 10. Okay, but I'm thinking Xander going up to Xander going up to 160. I wonder when the deadline. I know he had a rematch clause. Is it official? Yo, I heard he's gonna be on there, but I haven't. I didn't hear the opponent, but yeah, I did hear that. Let me see. Let me see. Oh, Giovanni Santillan, he's gonna fight former champion Abbas Baru. So that's coming. Yes, sir. Jan Marcos is a new entry. Pavel Suslin, he's fighting tomorrow in Russia on that Gassiev card. So we're gonna tap in. And Suslin is number 1 in the WBA. So he might be a future mandatory for Boots. 160, the title is vacant. So it's gonna get filled by Olaha versus McKenna. So I know that's 2 versus 3. So I know some people might be new. You might checking this out and say, why Amari Jones not fighting for the vacant title and blah blah blah. Well, at the time, Amari Jones wasn't the mandatory when this fight got made. It was the 2 highest available guys. That was 2 and 3. Then Amari Jones, after the fight was made, then he won a final eliminator. Now he gets the winner. So I just want to throw that out there because some people may be watching or listening or seeing and be like, man, why Mario Jones can't get it? So I got y'all covered, yo. Ask your questions. I got y'all. But Olaha and McKenna, they fighting on Zuffa Boxing August the 8th. So that's why I keep saying Zuffa and IBF seems like they working together. You know what I'm saying? To put that on their platform. I don't know what to expect from Earl Spence, but I'm picking him because he's American. Let's keep that shit point blank. But I don't know what to expect, and I ain't gonna come in here and say he's back to what he was back in the day. I don't think the weight gonna be an issue because Earl Spence fought at 156 before in his career against Chris Van Heerden. I don't think that'd be an issue. I think the timing and all that shit. And Zoo could have a good fight, but we ride with the Americans. Fuck all that. Let me see. Jihad Tucker, number 4. That's a nice ranking. He coming off a good win. Salute to him against Yuri Sedano. So the way this shit is shaking out, right? Amari Jones gonna get the winner of the whoever wins the vacant title. So after that fight happens in August, Jihad Tucker would be probably moved up to number 3. So he might need to get a eliminator too, so he can get in position. Because once Amari Jones get his opportunity, that number 1 spot gonna be vacant. Y'all feel what I'm saying? So that boy Fandor shut down the ducking room. Yeah. I've been put that shit out like 2 months ago, but you know what I'm saying it's nothing to me. All I do is just recycle my receipts. He ain't ducking no shit. He in his prime. He in his prime, and he got the biggest intangible in 154. But he had that mandatory that he got. That shit been in play. It's just motherfuckers ain't really tapped in like that, so they shocked. And then somebody dropped fake news, and then the low hanging fruit boxing fans would just follow that shit. And now they're gonna call Fandora a duck. He turned down a contract to fight Boots, and Boots is at a press conference talking about the Xander fight. Like, ain't nobody making deals that quick. I don't care what you talking about. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody making deals that quick. Yeah, Shakur cooked his ass. Easy work for boxing. Yeah, Shannon don't know what the fuck he talking about with this boxing. She never know. Jahazi, yeah, that's a good one. So hopefully he can get something eliminator. George the Dart should have a fight coming up. Callum Walsh is fighting Tyler Denny August 8th, Zuffa Boxing in Ireland. Ireland got a lot of shows coming up August, and then they got Katie September. Vito and Ammo, that's September the 4th. Vito just signed with Matchroom. That's a good fight. Vito and Ammo, solid. Yo-Yo's supposed to fight on August 22nd on Rowley and T.O. card. I see Bradley Goldsmith. Okay, Bradley Goldsmith up in there. He had a good win over Brad Pauls not too long ago. Salute to him. Yeah, he's the mandatory for the winner for the vacant title fight Number 2 versus number 3. Like I said before, the reason why 2 and 3 is fighting, that fight was made before Amari Jones won his title eliminator. Football player really think, yeah, he tripping. He tried to hide that he don't fuck with Shakur, but try to dress it up. Like you can't like, yo, as a boxing fan, we not if we say a boxer is boring, we not saying he's an excellent fighter. They don't go the same. You know what I'm saying? Don't try to like backhand compliment me. But Shakur was that was easy work. That was easy work. That was like one of these YouTube debates. It was on YouTube, huh? But you know, boxing YouTube, not that shit we watched, not that shit that was on there. Super middleweight, Iglesias is a champ. So where it is, him and Carlos Adames might work something out. You know what I'm saying? That's a good fight, bro. I like that. You know what I'm saying? He don't have a mandatory, but Kevin Saljo is number 3. Yo, salute to Kevin Saljo. So Kevin Saljo do what us boxing fans ask fighters to do coming off a loss. He coming off a controversial, not controversial, but a tough loss to Diego Pacheco in December. This dude had 4 fights since December. Now he's at the top spot in the IBF. Salute to him, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of these guys, they come off a good performance and a loss, so it kind of seemed like they won. Like my man mentioned Andy Hiroko and these guys coming off, Sebastian Hernandez against Jontu. These guys lose these fights where they get lot of praise by fighting hard and fighting tough. Then we don't hear shit from them. You know what I'm trying to say? So salute to Kevin Sajo. He did it the right way. I like his team. Salute to his team. And I hope he get an opportunity. Now where he winning or not, that's another thing. But him getting an opportunity for his hard work, I like that type shit. That shit dope. I like, but you can tell he was feeling. Yeah. That's all he do. That's it. He's a casual, like Shakur was saying, and so he's like, yeah, he's a casual, but he got a microphone, and people would hear that more than they would hear me. You know what I'm saying? Because what Shakur did to him, I tear his ass up the same way. You know what I'm saying? He kept talking about Sugar Ray Leonard and all these other guys. I seen Sugar Ray Leonard have fights that, you know what I'm saying? You know, but I get it though. That's how it be. But yeah. He ain't met a fighter who yeah, no, for real. I think Zapata got him out of there though. It's just funny, uncalling, boring, and yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, yo. Because a lot of Floyd's fights won all that, and then when Floyd was the man, well, when Floyd was at 130, Floyd was a bad motherfucker at 130, but they won't giving him praise at 130, not like that, until he like when he got to welterweight, when he beat Oscar and shit. That's when people started really recognizing. But Floyd, he was barely selling out the Grand Rapids when he fought Philip Endo. You know what I'm saying? I remember watching this shit. They didn't call him a star. They said he was the best fighter in boxing, but he wasn't a star until the Oscar De La Hoya shit. But you know, Teeth up in there. Salute to him. He should be fighting on Carissa's card. Yeah, that's a talent. That's a special talent to do that. So they'll probably order Kevin Sajo and Malik Zanad to fight for the final eliminator. Maybe Oliver Zaran. Look, number 5. This dude, Oliver Zaran. This dude was fighting in the damn thunderstorm a couple weeks ago in Spain. These dudes fighting in the fucking rain. That shit was wild. Beg the Bully is the WBA mandatory for Munguia. Pacheco fighting next week. Troy Williamson is fighting August 8th, rematch against Callum Simpson. I was thinking that was going to be an eliminator, but they dropped those guys. Matter of fact, Callum Simpson is not even ranked no more. Max McIntyre, I think he had a first round stoppage this morning. Easy money. Nobody remembers Floyd Cook. Oh yeah, that was nice. That was a nice ass performance right there. and he was going through a lot outside the ring. I think because his pops had just got out of jail and he was pulling him back, but he was like, I'm sticking with Roger. All that shit, yeah, he had a lot of out the ring shit. No, his pops, he had fired his pops maybe a couple of fights before that, and they was going back and forth. Man, who cares, bro? You know what I'm saying? I don't care about what T.O. got going on. It's make a break. I hope it's make a break for him so he can retire, bro. Mully Trayweather, what's good with you, bro? Salute. I don't fuck with T.O. like that. I don't care if it's make a break or not. He might have a worse performance against Rolly than he had up against Shakur. Cause Rolly can punch, and Rolly ain't like he was when he was with Mayweather Promotions, just bulldozing through motherfuckers. He trying to box. Ismail Salas got him boxing, being a power boxer. Well, a counter puncher, and there's gonna be two counter punchers sitting in front of each other. You know what I'm saying? And Teofimo gonna be jumping in, missing. They fuck around, yo. You fucking with Rolly. They got that Rain Man strength. 175. Dimitri Bivol is he still got his titles. Now he about to have elbow surgery, and the WBO has ordered him versus Callum Smith. So it looks like I don't know if he's gonna vacate and take the third fight with Beterbiev. We ain't seen Beterbiev in a while too. Um, I don't know what's up with Bivol. I think it's time. Yeah, yeah, that shit. Yeah, man, he lame as hell with that. Let him go through whatever he going through. If he going through something, let him go through it. Fuck him. He has some potential too. Yeah, that Loma fight got to his head. Connor Wallace versus Ben Whitaker. That fight looking like it's gonna be next. IBF eliminator too. And mess around be well, I don't know if Bivol gonna vacate though. But yeah, Connor Ben look I mean Connor Ben. Connor Whitaker damn, fuck the whole shit up. Ben Whitaker, yo, that dude, he's nice, yo. Like he ran I didn't think he was gonna do that to Papa. But recently he kind of flipped the script. He ain't fucking around no more. I like Ben Whitaker. Katiev, he had a wild shootout in his last fight. He got dropped in the first round and he came back and stopped the guy in the same round. That shit was wild. Atiev, he's fighting tomorrow against former champ Jose Uzcategui. That's a WBA eliminator. I haven't seen Uzcategui in a long ass time. But Waxy, Willie Hutchinson, Najee Lopez got a good fight coming up. He's gonna face Juan Carrillo. That's a good ass fight. Probox. Yeah, he got some bones, not bone spurs, but like little chips. Look, he got to do some cleanup. So we'll see. Paulo Acoso, he's fighting on the Zoo and Spence card. I don't know a lot of you guys seen him, but he's pretty solid, bro. Gradis Kraus, he's fighting Sean Hiphill. I think it's August the 8th. Excuse me. He's fighting on Williamson and Simpson on the card. Teef Overton, he should be on Carissa Shields on the card, August 15th. All right. Where we at? Cruiserweight. All right, so we almost at the end. Cruiserweight, the title is vacant. So Vidal Riley won an eliminator. He's going to fight for the vacant title. We have another eliminator coming up. I think it's August 8th. David Naika versus Floyd Masson. So I know you guys looking like, why 5 versus 6 is fighting for the number 1 spot? Well, they had just stripped job attire, right? And in the midst of that, um, they had ordered these guys. And then CBS, he had a fight, so he was unavailable. So these guys gonna fight for the number 1 spot. The winner of Naika and Masson got to fight Vidal Riley for the vacant title. So we'll see. Jabatai, I want to see him and Benavidez. But since him and CBS are on Zuffa, that makes sense. Abataya versus Chris Billings Smith. Pat Brown is going to fight John Hedges in September. So that can be a springboard fight for Pat Brown. I like him too. I think Zerto might be out for a minute. Tristan Calcrew is number 15 in the new IBF rankings. He's with Golden Boy. It's time to make a move for him. The hell? Linaire Perez is fighting. Damn, the South African dude. Shit, what is it? Senshu? I forgot his name. The Rock, though, he fought Usyk back in the day. He beat Chambers back in the day. So they fighting September the 3rd on the Eye of the Tiger. That's on the zone. Everybody with the zone now. That's what's up. So at the top of the cruiserweight division, you got David Benavidez unified, WBA, WBO. That the WBC ordered Benavidez to fight the WBC champ Noel McCallan. That fight probably happened next too. You know what I'm saying? Yo, they should do this shit more regularly. I think if you got multiple title holders in the same division, those each other's mandatories. Before we get to the rankings and shit, then they got to deal with those mandatories first. That would be my ranking system. Get those mandatories out the way because when we see undisputed, that means you fought the best. That's what it means. Sometimes you can get it different ways, and the way undisputed can just fall in your lap. I get it. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. So yeah. Heavyweight, we got a vacant title. We know Usyk vacated his titles. So Frank Sanchez is the mandatory. They ordered Frank Sanchez and Moses Atama a week ago. We haven't heard nothing on that. We know Moses is fighting Philip Herkovic. I haven't heard about him canceling that fight. They fight August 29th. So I wonder if because Moses got options. He's number one with the WBO. He's the mandatory with the WBO. So you can go that route and fight Dan Dubois or the winner of the rematch, Dubois or Warley. He's number one in the WBA. We know Gassiev is about to make a defense tomorrow. So young Moses got options. But I wonder if his team went to the IBF and say, hey, can you hold off? Can you reorder this after my fight? But my thinking is Frank Sanchez should want to get his opportunity before then. You know what I'm saying? Because if Moses fight, right, Herkovic, he probably not gonna be back until November. You know what I'm saying? That's just how the boxing time frame work. So that means Sanchez, who only had a 2-round fight and might be ready to go, and now he just fought in May. Now his timeline gonna be May to November. You know what I'm saying? To fight Moses. Moses gonna have 3 fights this year. He ran through Franklin. Now he gonna fight August. Now he gonna fight, you know what I'm saying? So if I'm Team Sanchez, I'm going to the IBF and it's like, nah, are they ready to fight? I wanna fight for the vacant title as soon as possible. So they'll go down the line. You know, Herkovic gonna say no. He's fighting. He's fighting Otama. Joshua gonna say no because he's trying to line up a fight with Fury. Joelov. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know why they waste that time. He said he could upset. Yeah, if he do what he did his last fight, that's gonna be tough though. With Moses being quick and powerful, but you know, no, that he salute to Sanchez because I thought that Will were gonna allow him to do what he did, but he didn't. So yeah, he's in the mix. We'll see, but I'm thinking it's gonna get down to Joelov, another Olympian that Frank Sanchez can fight. He just stopped the silver medalist. Now let's see if he can stop the gold medalist. Um, that's the storyline right there. Fury about to fight in the bubble. Whatever. I don't know. Fabio Warley, he got I think he got a certain time frame to exercise his rematch clause against Dubois. As long as Usyk's still fighting, they worthless. Well, I mean, I don't know if they're worthless because this being world heavyweight champion put yourself in a different tax bracket though. I mean, so it actually helps them create a dollar, with the marketing and shit. So that shit, I don't know if it's totally worthless, but I understand the angle. What plans you think Queensberry has for Guido? I think it's Guido versus Adelaide on the undercard of Moses and Herkovic, from my understanding. Sanchez knee might still be finished. Yeah, he did come right to him. He laid his head right there to the uppercut. A good thing is they'll be fighting each other. Yeah, yeah, that's good. They can do a round robin. Usyk trying to fight Wilder. Richard Rapport, not sure. Richard Torres. So I'm thinking Richard Torres may get on one of these top ring cards. Not sure his timeline for his recovery or his suspension, but that was a bad knockout. That was nasty work. Vito, I mentioned him. Him and Adelaide. He just signed with Queensberry. Justice Huny. I like him too. Um, he's still with Matchroom. And Matchroom got a deal with Fox down in Australia, so he might be headlining a show down there. FA is with Zuffa. You know, FA had a big knockout win on Zuffa against Charles Martin, and there's crickets. Um, Jarrell Miller, number 15 in the new IBF ranking, so that's something interesting. He's number 2 with the WBA, so he might get gassier. Um, yeah, it's a heavyweight title fight. They got the same belt that Ali them had. That super championship don't got no status, don't got no lineage. The belt Gassiev has is the belt with the lineage, so it's a real heavyweight fight. You know what I'm saying? It's no different than when Lance Lewis got his belt out the trash can and fought Tony Tucker. Real heavyweight fight. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these guys get their belt. John Ruiz, these, you know what I'm saying? So those was real fights too. So this is a real fight, just like those. They're just repeating what history taught them. Um, Kenny Norton, he got the WBC title. Who he win that from? He was given that, right? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, one from Pulev. So yeah, I mean, it's been like that. They just following what they seen history do. You know what I'm saying? That's all they doing, following what history showed them how to move and maneuver. For sure. Yep. So yeah, that's a real title fight. It's gonna go down in history books. I mean, not saying it's the best, you know what I'm saying? It's probably a little worse than your boy your boy Tim Witherspoon had a forgettable fight with Tony Tubbs. It's about on that level. Yeah. So, history just repeats itself. It ain't really nothing new under the sun anyway, but in this boxing shit, we see the same thing get repeated over and over. Um, it would be entertaining, much better than the titles was held hostage. Yeah, I think that's a good thing in all divisions when these guys they done with the division and they not planning on facing the top guys. Then you go ahead and vacate so the division can open up. Like Cabiel is probably the uncrowned champ, but he look his next fight is gonna be a world title fight. Now he's the full champ. I mean, Gassiev didn't get elevated. Gassiev was already world champ. You know what I'm saying? So he didn't. Once Usyk vacated his super status, his super championship, then Gassiev just became the sole champion in the heavyweight division. So he just carried on the lineage. He was stoned that fight. Yeah, that shit looked like it. That shit was crazy. He had to go to rehab. Yeah, that wasn't a good fight. But yeah, that's what it is, man. IBF rankings. If you guys are interested, you can go to IBF rankings yourself to follow along. Y'all know I like to do this just to you know, give a look at what's going on in each division, and we can kind of predict what's going down. And you always will see somebody pop into the rankings out the blue, and we can question every ranking, but we all know where it stems from: relationships with the promoters, with the managers. That's how these guys get their rankings. There's really no um, consistency, there's no consistency with these rankings all across the board because I feel like it should be like a panel of whoever they can decide. It should like the top 10 should be the top 10 to me in each sanction body. Now, if you want to put maybe you got one guy at number 3 in the WBA, but in the WBO you got him at number 6. That's okay because maybe he won a regional title with the WBA and he defended it twice. That type shit. But I think the top 10 should be the top 10 across the board. Then the way you maneuver it, then that's you. Like Yo-Yo Hernandez should be number 1 across the board, in my opinion. I think he's probably the best fighter at 160 without a belt, and that's including Amari Jones, and I'm high on Amari Jones. But I think Yo-Yo probably the best guy. He might be better than some of the champs, but he might be number 1 with the WBA and number 1 with the WBO. But he like what 15? What he had with the IBF? I'll go back. He like let me see. He shouldn't be where he is. He's number 9 in the IBF. So it's like that shit's weird to me. How you number 1 in the other 2 sanctioned bodies, but you number 9 here? So that's about relationships. You know what I'm saying? He's with Louis DeCuba, and those guys work with PBC. PBC been locked in with the WBA for a long time. So y'all see what I'm saying. So, but I'm just presenting just to show people and give those the people who's interested, just to take a look at it, so you'll see. Because we know why these guys we know some of these guys shouldn't be that high, but we know what it is. Because this is not like if we can take away the theory that boxing is a sport, then we can understand the game better because we all know it's a business. If you look at this shit, bro, this some business right here. Because ain't no way. Because in a sport, we know we got eyes. We know who is the top 5. At least we know who the top 5 in each division. The top 10, we might have to do a little bit more research and looking. But Ben Mahoney, number 9 in the IBF, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, he's a solid fighter from Australia and shit, but come on now. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. Not to knock it. That's not what I want to do, but I just like to educate. Like, okay, he's number 9, and what he got coming up. You know what I'm saying? Look at Ben Whitaker. Ben Whitaker ain't really beat nobody to get that ranking, and we going off of the sport. Like, if we're gonna merit off of what you actually done and who you beat, I mean, his shit is based on him being an Olympic silver medalist, right? Or bronze, I can't remember. Silver. And just his profile. And that's boxing. That's what makes it a business. So once we understand that as fans, bro, we won't even get mad. Like, I don't even get mad at shit no more. I used to be like, man, why he getting up? You know, man, he coming off a loss. Why he getting another world title shot? Because this team is nice. And everybody in life want to have a good team. When you fail, when you fuck some shit up, you want to have a team right there to back you up and put you back on the right path. I don't care what nobody say. And we all go through shit, and we just we translate that we translate that scenario to boxing and how these guys make a living. How can we be mad? That's how I look at it, but that's just me. Salute to everybody coming through the building, though. I appreciate the time. We'll be back. Maybe shit. We don't really got no crazy boxing tomorrow. We might do a little recap show for Gassiev and his world title fight. So we'll see what's up. It's actually a pretty good card though. So I'm tapped in. That's gonna be on the Zone and the IBA YouTube channel. So if you guys want to tap in, we're gonna be there for sure. Salute to everybody coming through the building. That's my time, and I'm out.